The Rocky Horror Picture Show is here on 4K, finally. I've been shivering with anticipation. Word on the street is this scan actually makes corrections to previous home releases, especially in regards to color timing. So what we're going to do is compare the Blu-ray to the 4K scan, specifically the 35th anniversary Blu-ray release. And in one scene in particular, we're going to take out our old handy VHS just for another opinion. So, first thoughts. This was the J card that we all saw. It's like an upside down J card. I don't think I've bought a release that has one of those before, but it must be kind of a steelbook thing. I don't know. Most of us, I think, assumed that the title was not going to actually be printed on the 4K steelbook, though. It is. I'm not upset about it. I know that a lot of 4K steelbooks don't have titles on them. I don't know if I'm a fan of that. Doesn't make it any better to me. And the cover art's fine. It's really good. It's done really well. I think the back part is what makes it really shine there. That's really awesome artwork. We've got that same artwork on the disc there, and that's the artwork on the included Blu-ray disc. Now just for comparison's sake, let's take out the Blu-ray and look at that. This is the 35th anniversary Blu-ray. So if we take it out of there, this is what's underneath, and details about all the special features and whatnot. And that's actually what's on the disc for this. But basically, as far as I can tell, all the same special features from this were just ported over for this. They didn't really do any new special features, which, at face value is like, I get it, I understand sometimes. But at the same time, I've seen like clips going around of the cast talking about the 50th anniversary. So like, why couldn't some of those clips be included on here? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Work something out. But regardless, at least all of the same special features were included. Sometimes they lose stuff. So let's take a look at these scans and see what's up. Alright, so here we are. This is our side-by-side comparison. Immediately you're going to see color differences between the Blu-ray disc and the 4K. And I'm going to tell you right now, the 4K more accurately represents what this looked like on its original theatrical run. Now, of course, I wasn't alive to see the original theatrical run or anything, but with a lot of these 4K scans, that's kind of the point of them. Now, I don't know if they just used the same scan and did different color timing and, HDR grading and whatnot, because this Blu-ray scan does say on the back, right on the back, restored 4K/2K master from the original camera negatives. So provided that's true, they probably didn't have to rescan this movie. They probably took that scan and ran with it. You will notice the Blu-ray disc, as always, looks like the saturation is turned up to 11. And here we are with our first shot of Brad. This is a good time to point out that in these comparison videos, at least as of right now, I'm not showing you HDR. Yes, it looks dark by comparison, but if you watch this scan on a 4K TV with your 4K player, it looks great. I did both of these on the same 4K player. Both of them look great on my TV, to be perfectly honest, but the 4K has some very, very interesting differences, which we will get to. This, for example, like, it may look darker in comparison to 4K, but the color of her actual outfit there looks so much better. Here's a great example of why brighter does not mean better. Look at the definition on his shirt and her hat. Tell me you don't see more detail in the 4K. Moving right along. I watched these yesterday to do this, but I already kind of want to watch it again. Anybody else that big of a fan of this movie? Hopefully on my channel there's a few of you. 4K looks excellent, dude. Not that the Blu-ray looks bad, but you kind of want that night-like tint on these 70s movies. Especially ones that are portraying 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s sci-fi tropes. Now I'm usually pretty honest, and I tell you when I think that the Blu-ray looks better than the 4K scans. Sometimes I'm just disappointed at how unmiraculous it feels, You gotta take these with a grain of salt. You gotta check out the 4K for sure. The actual color of his makeup, it's better in the 4K. Look at that. Look at the lip color. I'm not crazy, am I? This is one of those things that if you're a casual fan and you already have the Blu-ray, you're solid, right? I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to watch this and think that the Blu-ray looks better, despite what we'll talk about in a little bit. And it's like, look at that color difference there. Look at the sharpness difference. The 4K takes that cake, baby. I mean, sure, Frankenfurter's in motion, but look at Riff Raff over there. God, that's just a beautiful shot no matter which frame you're looking at. See, again, this is what I'm talking about. With 4Ks, I always make this example. It's like fires and lights and whites. They're overblown on Blu-rays. And in 4K, you can actually see there's texture on his face. You know what I mean? You can see his face. It's just pure white, overblown, glowing white on the Blu-ray disc. And I'm not necessarily saying one's better than the other, but that is something that 4K has over Blu-ray. I mean, these are pretty comparable shots, right? Like, sure, side by side we can see the color differences, but other than that, I mean, if we weren't looking at this, you wouldn't be able to really remember. Oh yeah, the other one looks significantly a little bit more purpley bluey. Oh, and we have the glorious Meatloaf. Look at him. I love that face he makes as he tosses off the helmet. This stuff is just pure awesome. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted looking at how awesome the scenery is and everything, and distracted by Meatloaf. But look at the actual color of the walls in there on the 4K. It's pink. You know what I mean? It's like the color is washed out on the Blu-ray, but somehow it still has like more saturation, you know? It's bizarre. God, these are such cool and interesting sets too. Like, I say cool as he's in a cooler. You are not sending me to the cooler. Sorry. Slipping into Mr. Freeze there. Alright, so coming up here is going to be the big color differences in this movie. Often talked about. So you see here, the Blu-ray and the 4K, there is a difference, but for the most part, they're trying to represent the same sort of color scheme, right? You know, as we move forward a little bit, you see Janet getting in her little room. You see them watching her in there. And you see Brad getting put into his room. Now, that's obviously a big difference. The Blu-ray disc looks just very normal. The 4K has a bluish tint instead, which matches the vibe going against the red, obviously. Now, if we look at the VHS, it's kind of similar to the Blu-ray, where it's just missing that color there. And if we go forward, we see that the entire scene here with Frankenfurter and Janet looks pretty comparable, right? Both look good. And as we move forward to Brad and Frankenfurter, we notice that the Blu-ray is white. And the 4K is blue, yet again, matching the red aesthetic. From what I can read online, that's how the movie was originally released, was with the blue opposing the red for Janet. Somewhere along the line, and including the 1992 VHS release that we're looking at, the color was not there anymore. Now this has me wondering and wanting to do more research on it, and if I do, that might be an entirely new video to do in the future, because a lot of the times when they did VHS releases, they just sort of ported over really quickly from what they had for theatrical. I don't think they did a lot of color work and stuff, you know what I mean? Unless they had to pan and scan it. But this was a 1992 release. It could have been linked to a Laserdisc scan that was done, because it is a pretty decent looking VHS scan, I'm not gonna lie. But regardless, that's the biggest difference in these different releases here. Other than, you know, it's in full 4K, but if you ask me, the movie does look great in 4K, and if you're as big a fan as I am, you're going to want to grab the 4K. If you collect 4Ks, you have the means to watch it and stuff. If not, I don't think you need to fret. The Blu-ray is going to be enough for casual fans. However, you'll notice here, this is where the big difference happens between the US and UK version, which I will say for the 4K's sake, it has the UK version as the main version. So I kind of cut these together so you can see exactly what happens. The Blu-ray at some point here just cuts to black while we have this song that happens on the 4K. And then, as you'll notice, it picks up back again and they sort of match, and that's how the movie ends. But the Blu-ray did have the alternate version, the UK version. It just featured the US version like listed first. So it's just nice to see this movie get its full due with the blue restored and the superhero song inserted back in. Getting the UK version, we'd love to see it. I personally loved watching this movie in 4K, and I highly recommend you guys do the same this season. Well, that's it. Let me know your thoughts on which you think looks better in the comments down below, and if you like this video, be sure to check out this one and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.